God's blessings to you from our family at St. Simon of Cyrene Parish, with church sites at St. Mark de Porres Church and St. Agatha Church. Offer this reflection on the scriptures for this coming Sunday for your spiritual nourishment and encouragement. Before we begin, let's take a moment to recognize God's presence in each of us and to give thanks for all of our blessings. My friends, this coming Sunday, we encounter Jesus having journeyed with his disciples from Galilee to what will be his final destination in Jerusalem. As they make their way to the temple precinct, they encounter a man who is born blind. Jesus' own disciples ask Jesus what the source of his blindness was, something the man himself had done or his parents. Now, this sounds ridiculous to us, but people in Jesus' time truly thought poverty, sickness, and demon possession were caused by something that person had done to bring it on, or even their parents had done. Of course, this was not just the thought in Jesus' time. Even today, we have many wealthy people, politicians, and some middle-class people who believe the poor cause their own problems and failings. They deny the impact of systemic racism, sexism, arrogant nationalism, self-righteousness, and greed on those who suffer these injustices every day. Jesus rebukes the disciples, and because of the faith and impassioned pleas of this blind man, who was born blind, he cures him by combining earth and divine saliva, rubbing this poultice on the man's eyes, then telling him to wash in the pool of Siloam, whose water were thought to be curative. The remainder of the story revolves around the formerly blind man's claims to the temple priests that he was healed by Jesus. The temple priests refused to believe this man, questioning both the man and his parents as to whether he was really blind after all. They do everything in their power to refute the miracle that Jesus performed, blinded themselves by a lack of faith and not wanting to believe that Jesus, a wandering preacher, could do such a miraculous thing. The man who is cured of blindness becomes the one who can now see, and then exposes the blindness of some of the religious authorities in Jerusalem. In the first reading, we hear another surprising story. The prophet Samuel seeks to anoint a new king for the people, and the Lord reveals that the new king will arise from the family of Jesse. Jesse presents his son from oldest to youngest, and Samuel discerns that none of them are the Lord's chosen. But there's another son, David, a mere boy tending the sheep in the fields, while his older brothers are auditioning for the job of king. Jesus sends for him, and lo and behold, it is the shepherd boy who will shepherd them as King David. The Lord has surprised again, turning the tables of the ages-old tradition that the elder son will be the chosen one. So what do these readings have to say to us? The answer is found in our second reading from St. Paul to the Ephesians. St. Paul is calling us to open our hearts, our minds, our spirits, to allow the light of Christ to reveal and remove our own blindnesses. Our Lenten journey encourages us to reflect on our blindness, our biases, on the trauma that continues to limit us because of unresolved grief. It is only with the help of God and God's people that we can reconcile and be freed from our own blindness. And once we see the light and embrace Christ, our light, in our lives, we can in turn challenge the forces of darkness, of greed, arrogance, racism, and sexism, and all those things caused by those who seek to bring about darkness. In closing, let's close with the words of Paull to the Ephesians. You were once in darkness, but now you are in light in the Lord. Light produces every kind of goodness and the righteousness and truth. Try to learn what is pleasing to the Lord. Take no part in the excesses of darkness. Rather, exposing them to the light so that everything becomes visible. Therefore, he says, awake, O sleeper, and Christ will give you light. On behalf of the Catholic Christian family of St. Simon of Cyrene Parish, I want to thank you and invite you to join us for our coming masses this Sunday at St. Agatha Church at 9 a.m., St. Mark de Porres Church at 11 a.m., both led by our joyous contemporary gospel choirs. Their service will be live streamed and available for your viewing afterward online. We welcome your participation in our community prayer and praise and thanksgiving. Please take the time to share this video on Facebook. is a great way for you to participate in spreading the good news. Thank you for all the work, all the ways that you allow the Lord to work through you, with you, and in you. And in all things, my friends, be blessed.